For this demo, I'm going to start with the demonstration of all of the calls that we can do. Let's start with the agent prompt template. So in this case, we're sending a prompt template and we're telling instructions for the agent. And then this is the actual message that the person is sending. The training was great. I would really recommend this to everyone. So in the response, because we are telling that we want this to be in a JSON output, then that is why the response is coming back in a JSON output. So that is one. Then we have the chat answer prompt. So what's the capital of Canada? This is pretty straightforward. It's just going to give you a response. The capital of Canada is Ottawa. Then we have the generate from messages. So we have different messages. First, the user said, I hate you. Then the assistant responded something. Then the user said, I didn't mean it. I'm just testing your categories. And this is the response that we're getting back from the assistant. As we can see, we have different categories of toxicity, like identity, hate, profanity, etc. Nothing was detected as toxicity. We have an ID, parameters, and the content that is coming back from the agent. This PDF, where we have several questions and answers, FAQs from a resort. So for example, this is one question that is going to be coming. This is embeddings ad hoc file query. Can I bring my dog? So the result is, are pets allowed? Pets are not allowed at the resort. And this will be coming in an array of different indexes or items, depending on which one has the more probability of being the answer. Then we have embeddings generate from files. So this is the numeric representation of the same PDF that we are using. And finally, we have the embeddings generate from text. So for example, we have this text and we are sending it. We receive the embeddings, again, in a numeric format. And finally, we have index 0. So that is what we're getting back from embeddings. And finally, we have RAG. So same. It will come from the PDF, can I bring my dog? And the response is going to be no. And the response is based on the data provided. The answer to the question, can I bring my dog, is no. So those were all the operations that we can do from Einstein. This is pretty much the trust layer from Einstein. So if we take a look at the global configurations, we have the Einstein config, and we can see here the UI. So for the UI, we are also connecting auth credentials, and we have the client ID, client secret, token URL, secure, same as we did for Agentforce. These are the same credentials. And then here we have the Einstein configuration. For this, we have several subflows because we have several operations. So starting from the beginning, this is the define prompt template for the agent. So we just need to provide the configuration, provide the template instructions, and the data set, which all are coming from payload, Agentforce or Salesforce account, the probability, and the locale. Then we have the chat answer prompt. So here we have the model API name, same as before. In this case, I'm using Bedrock Anthropic. And then we have here, for this one, I created just a transform message. In case this is string, then we're just going to send the payload. But if it's not string, as you saw, I was sending a JSON array. Then we're going to be creating a string for this. So we can be able to send the messages in the payload because it needs to be a string. So again, for this, I'm using Bedrock, and that is it. Then we have the embeddings. For the embeddings, first I'm saving all the payload in a variable called input payload. Then I'm reading the Coral Cloud Resort PDF that we have here in the project. Then for the prompt, well, the prompt comes from the input payload of whatever was asked. Then we have the input stream. And finally, we have the model name, which I am using OpenAI for this, the file type, which is a PDF, and the option type, which is a paragraph. Then we have the embeddings generate from files. So first I'm reading the file. So this will be in the payload. The input stream is a payload or the file that is coming from the PDF. The model API name, in this case, I'm using OpenAI, the file type, which is PDF, and the option type. In my case, I'm using full. Then we have the generate embeddings. So for this, because we are generating from the text, we just have to send the text from the payload. And we are using here OpenAI. And finally, for the RAG, first we are saving the input payload, then we are reading the PDF, then we are loading everything. So the prompt is whatever was set in the input payload, the input stream is the PDF file. And then we have the embeddings name, OpenAI text, the file PDF. In this option type, this will be paragraph instead of full, because we want it to be separated. We have now the model is going to be Bedrock, probably, and local.